Hey, everybody.
Good morning.
Hi. How are y'all? How are you this morning?
I am here.
You are here. I do like the Jollibee shirt, though.
Thank you. I also like the Jollibee shirt. I had to search through boxes and totes to find out.
Where's my Jollibee shirt?
Yes.
Give me.
How are you today?
I'm doing okay. Welcome to the Wednesday Super Show, everybody. I hope everybody in chat's doing good. We are live right now on the Twitch and the YouTube, and I think next week we'll be able to start doing TikTok live at the same time, which is going to be cool. Because the Mafia goes, nice. You could just come with Red Dead 2.
I am not afraid if they hear me.
So,
let's go.
Actually, well, first off, if you want to know more about what's going on at the store, go to gamersheavenpnw.com. Today is draft day.
Yeah, it is. What are we drafting?
And Smash Melee. It's dealer's choice. So we're going to take a vote when everybody gets here. I have...
So there's a tower over there of draft boxes.
I have
for
1,
this.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different types of sets. So we have 8 different set boost or draft box types over there, actually, and I'm sorry. Yep, I see one. I know there's one over there that's not over there. So I think we have 10 different draft boxes. So we're going to let it do it. Also, coming soon to Gamers Heaven PNW, the Chaos returns. Okay, so Chaos Draft is going to be on the 21st. There will be a 32-player cap, and we are having a huge tournament for that, and we'll have some cool prizes for that. We also have the Gamers Heaven Store Championship, which will be happening the week prior on the 14th. It will be March of the Machines Booster Draft. We were going to do Pioneer, but Wizards has locked Pioneer out for this particular series of the Store Championship. So we have to do either sealed booster draft or modern, and knowing our community the way that we do, we were like, well, booster draft's probably our best shot here. So we're going to do that. You can find all the rest of the calendar stuff on gamersheavenpnw.com. We also have Smash tonight. So Smash Melee's in. Come in, play, take the L. Also, you can register for our first Pokemon VGC tournament, which is posted on start.gg. It's also on our calendar. And
our upcoming Smash Ultimate as well with
on Friday.
Smash.
Yep. Friday is Smash Ultimate. So there are still slots open for all of those tournaments. So again, Smash Melee, Smash Ultimate, Pokemon VGC on the 6th. We're doing another Mario Kart Filthy Casuals on the 20th, I believe. The Soba meetup will be here on the 13th. That'll be the evening of the 13th.
So if you are a Twitch streamer or have a registered Twitch account, you can join for our Soba event. They are wonderful people, very friendly, and awesome to network with as well.
Yep. So we're going to be busy this month.
Yeah.
Oh, last teaser. We're working on the stuff, Taylor and I. So a lot of you have been to our community appreciation days before.
Yes.
That will be the last weekend in May. We're going to do another one. So we'll be raffling a bunch of cool prizes. We'll be raffling some gift cards. We're going to have all kinds of fun stuff at the end of the month. It's going to be great. It's going to be super. Like the Super Show.
Super like the Super Show.
So, if you guys want to see more stuff like this, make sure you're liking and subscribing and things like that. Go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe over there. We're growing. It's nice, and it helps us defeat the algorithm. Don't forget to hit the little thumbs up button. Okay. First topic today. The UK has said no. Bad Microsoft. No. So UK's Competition and Markets Authority, I got Taylor there. The Competition and Markets Authority have slapped Microsoft up there and said, no, we're not letting this one go through. They released their stuff today saying, and there's one over at gov.uk, explaining their rationale behind this. It mostly has to do with cloud gaming and cloud gaming services. That's what the UK is most concerned about right now. In their stuff, the SEC has filed suit to block it, but they haven't finished. That has not been adjudicated yet, and the SEC stuff in the US works differently than the UK.
They do have a chance to appeal with the UK decision, which I believe they'll probably be doing, especially as they're pushing very hard for this merger.
I have some of Bobby Kotick. They released a statement.
Okay.
They did. Let me see if I can grab that up really quick. Oh boy.
So-
Yeah, they're upset.
I mean, I can see the threat of monopolizing being something to be upset about.
Yep. Yeah, I'm see if I can find Bobby Kodak's
Phil,
thing. He's mostly very angry. Um,
don't make me take away your sword, Phil.
yep.
Bobby angry.
Yeah. You'll have Activision. Basically, Bobby Kodak's statement is they're used to moving very, very fast, which I thought was interesting for somebody from
Yeah.
Blizzard to say.
Yeah.
Because
Of
they don't
all.
release things fast. But that being aside, he's like, we're used to moving fast. We're used to doing things. We're getting frustrated because this is taking a really, really long time.
I mean, it's been blocked now by.
I haven't seen the EU stuff yet. I think that actually comes out tomorrow.
Well, I do remember talking about. I think it was Japan that blocked it as well.
Yes, they were very upset about
And
it.
then the SEC has had some issues with it, as well as the UK. So this has been going on for at least the last 6 months, if not longer. I know that they had announced the intentions of merging in like 2020, if I believe.
It was either 2020 or 2021. This has been going on for a minute. European Commission delayed their thingy from April 25th to May 22nd.
Okay.
So we won't hear about the EU for at least just about another month. Yeah, Japan ended up pulling out of their
Reversing.
block.
You're
They
right.
reversed their block. The UK one's a big one.
Well, yeah.
It's not looking this. Most of the people, most of the commentary I'm seeing out of the United Kingdom right now says normally these types of mergers, because they're verticals, not
Right.
horizontal, that usually the UK CMA lets these go through because they're not buying a competitor.
Right.
Right. It's not like Microsoft's trying to buy Sony. They're buying a supplier, essentially. This one's got everybody really worried. Now, you and I had an interesting conversation about this before the stream today, because you take a different tact on this than is normal.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty anti-corporation as it is, especially when it comes to monopolization and especially in the creative world. I am also very much a Game Pass enjoyer, so it's interesting.
I've been using their cloud gaming function a lot lately.
How do you like it?
I like it. I think we'll talk about that in the next one. We talk about Xbox sales.
Yeah.
But we can get
We
deeper
can-
in that.
Yeah, I'm always happy to talk about that, especially since my first experience was like cloud streaming Forza 6,
Nice.
and it was mwah.
But you're not opposed to this merger.
Not necessarily, and one of the reasons why is because I have historically seen that, at least with Game Pass, they give a really good platform for indie games that are coming out, and they make it so that folks who do want to check out these indie games, right, which, one, like, is awesome. Two, they make it so that there's no roadblocks for checking out the indie games.
Yes.
Right. There are so many games that end up either behind, the advertisement of other AAA games being released or anything like that, or it's, advertisements just not enough, whatever. But the concepts behind a lot of these indie games and the fact that they're getting up on Game Pass and getting the word out so quickly and so easily means that anybody can enjoy them, anybody can check out these new game concepts, and it's something that I very much hold dear. However, I also think it is interesting that the reasoning behind the UK blocking it is because it's for the cloud gaming industry. Like, because we've seen what cloud gaming has where.
Yeah, you brought up Stadia and some other services
we watched
that have happened.
Stadia, and both Pete and I were very excited for Stadia just because it was supposed to be really awesome, and we watched it go out with a whimper. They were literally sending out Stadia controllers for free.
Please play our system.
So
I honestly, again, I heard some mixed reviews, but generally positive about the function of Stadia, right? Its functionality. I think their biggest issue was their monetization theory. The thing that I like about the cloud system here is that it is subscription based, where Stadia was not.
that's true. They tried to turn it into subscription-based after that, but they were giving the subscriptions away for free.
So here's the thing. I have to imagine that Microsoft and Blizzard really thought this was going to go faster because they're stuck right now. They really can't do any major initiatives until this deal is done or is canceled because they don't know if they're going to be able to do it.
Right.
So they're kind of stuck, like just kind of treading water, waiting for things to happen. And in the meantime, everybody's like just crushing this merger.
Right.
And here's the thing with the UK blocking it, with the SEC suing, I don't see them getting this thing done maybe before the end of the year.
Probably not. I mean, especially
They have to
with
go to the
system
appeals
of
tribunal
appeals. Yeah,
in
like,
the UK.
It's going to take a very long time.
By the way, I love that the UK calls it a tribunal. Thank you.
They just want to be fancy.
I want a tribunal. And they probably wear wigs. Have you seen
yes,
the judge?
actually,
they wear
they
the
still
wigs
wear
and lawyers.
wigs,
I
so
love
yeah.
it. Do you guys think this will have any effect on new releases? Absolutely,
For
I do.
Activision and Blizzard, yes.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
have historically not been a fan of Blizzard, especially for the last few years, so I don't really give two shits about them, but it is interesting to see how Activision, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, it'll be interesting to see how Activision handles their new releases, especially with this merger trying to be passed and being appealed.
Yeah, I think if anything, I think unless it's pretty far in the pipeline, they're probably stuck. Somebody says no mess with Starfield. I don't think this is going to mess with Starfield because that's under Bethesda. That merger's already done. Microsoft's got that in the pipeline. And we're actually going to talk about that again also in the next blog. Somebody else asked, buy everyone a black lab and then it will be passed. I don't think it's going to be a black lab. I think what it will do, it wouldn't surprise me if Microsoft did something similar. They started doing it when they got hit with the antitrust stuff before. It changed the marketplace for web browsers permanently. Like, who knows? Maybe they're going to be like, all right, we're buying everybody an Xbox Series S. We're going to make the Series S free with Game Pass.
Which certainly folds into our next topic very interestingly. We need to stop joking about sending Pinkertons on people, you guys. It's not funny. That is a very heavy thing to do.
Read a story about that. You can go read The Valley of Fear by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, in which one of the main characters is a Pinkerton. Anyway, I need context on Pinkerton. We can talk about that in a couple of minutes. Microsoft pushed all Activision games to Game Pass. Yes, they are. And actually, one of the things that's been questioned, I saw this the other day, is they subpoenaed Nintendo. The SEC did.
What?
To be like, yeah, you gonna put the new Call of Duty on Switch? How you gonna do that? Because they signed that agreement. And basically what the regulators are saying is, it won't play on the Switch. Who cares that you signed an agreement to bring it to it? You're not gonna actually release it.
I was just gonna ask, like,
wow.
Okay, chat, I don't know if any of you guys play Call of Duty on the Switch. I'm very curious to see what the reaction is here, but I have heard that it does not run very well considering it is an FPS, and the system that they're trying to run it on does not necessarily work very well with both the frame rate required and the controller feedback speed required either. Like, when I'm going to the Switch for games, I'm doing it for, like, platformers and, you know, like, Hades is great.
I think you probably do it with the Pro Controller.
Yeah, but can you? I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about the Joy-Con drift with trying to do
a slightly better Wii. No, I mean the Switch is at heart.
It's a tablet.
The Switch is a handheld game system.
It's a tablet.
It's a handheld game system that's supposed to be a console, but it's a handheld system.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That happens to have a dock that it comes with that you can plug into your TV.
Like, no shade against the Switch. I love it.
Oh, no, I think it's one of the best consoles out there.
Because of why? Like, why do you think it's one of the best consoles out of there? Is it because of the portability?
Portability, low barrier to entry, cost, quality of the games on the system. Like, it is, like, overall one of the best consoles out there.
And the games that are being released on this system are also usually tailored to the resolution requirements
Mm-hmm.
and the frame rate requirements that system can actually play.
Yep, they're all done there. Anyway, we're gonna get this into the next topic anyway.
Microsoft giving everybody a free Xbox Series X with free Game Pass, huh?
Yep.
Is that because they can't sell their Xboxes now?
Yep. Basically, so yeah. Now that they've blocked it. This is gonna be interesting to watch over the next few months. We've been watching this closely for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's gonna affect my gaming, like what I do with my games and which console I go to for which games.
Yep, absolutely. Moving on to our second topic, which is related to this first topic. Xbox released their sales numbers for the console. They're down 30% year over year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's between the S and X combined.
Do you think that's because PS5s are becoming more able to be sourced?
Slightly more
Slightly?
available? No, I think it's because two reasons. There is basically no such thing as an Xbox exclusive because all of it goes to PC, right? And literally, right
There
as I
you go,
said that,
Machine.
somebody in the
Yes.
chat went, I have a PC, why do I need an Xbox? That's actually kind of the position that I'm in at home for my home stuff.
Oh.
I have a PC, I have a strong gaming PC, and I don't need it. Now, I do have Game Pass.
Yes, but you can play it on the PC, which is one of the reasons why I like Game Pass. Because
Right.
I have both a PC and an Xbox,
And
and
I
I
have
can play cross-platform with my partner while sitting on the couch.
Yeah,
It's great
for most games.
for most games.
For most
Right.
games. So, now here's the thing. I think we've said this before. I don't think Microsoft is particularly concerned
No,
about console sales.
I don't think so either. I mean, considering the moves that they're trying to make right now in regards to, you know, the Activision Blizzard merge and all of the releases onto the PC side of Game Pass, all of that good stuff. Like, do they really need console sales to buoy them anymore? Like, this was
No, and they were losing money on those anyway. Here's the thing about
ESO on Switch would be so garbage. Oh my god.
I would
Sorry.
ESO on Switch. So I just started using the cloud gaming thing on there.
Yeah, I kind of got you into it
Yeah,
in
well,
the last couple of months.
So I got Game Pass, and I was using it to download certain games that I had wanted to play that I didn't want to pay full price for.
Yep.
Then Pete was actually the one talking to me about using it for, I think, Yakuza.
Yep.
Was trying it via cloud. And I was like, you know what? I kind of like that. So I've actually lately
Been trying out games on the cloud.
been trying out games in the cloud before let me take 40 minutes to download and
Right.
install this
Let me
giant
download
monster.
the 60 gigs for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like it. The only thing is some of the input lag on fighting games is kind of a pain in the butt.
Well, that's what you're gonna get with any kind
I was
of
playing
cloud gaming.
Blaze
for
Blue
that.
Central Fiction. I was playing some Injustice.
Yeah.
There's a couple other games that I've been doing there.
Forgot
I
about
tried
Injustice.
a couple games last night. The nice thing, and again, this actually gets into what I like about the cloud gaming is, I started a game last night, and I played for about 25 minutes, and I was like, nope,
Not for me.
not for me. Not that it's a bad game, but I'm just like, you know what? I'm not feeling this.
Absolutely.
So I don't have to now go uninstall it and get rid of it, which I really like. But yeah, with Game Pass, I mean, their console sales are down, but yeah, I don't think they care.
I don't think so either. I mean, I think this might tie into lowering the threshold on how to get an Xbox console. I know that they're pretty mid in price right now comparatively for Switch and PlayStation 5. I'm wondering if this will make it so that gaming is more accessible a little bit sooner on those platforms, just because they're probably going to try and boost sales that way, right?
I would be really curious to read some market research
Yes.
on like some deep dive market research on this, because I'm curious how many. I mean, they're obviously selling a significant number of consoles, and there are people who play on consoles. And somebody in the chat just brought up, rumor is they're getting out of consoles. They're going to build an app to replace hardware distribution. The problem is I don't know how. I don't know how that's going to work. especially with people who don't play on PC. The
Right.
problem is that there is a distinct power imbalance with PCs. You cannot just go grab a commercial off the shelf Dell and have a good gaming experience.
No. Nor
PCs
do I
have
recommend that.
no, don't do
ever.
that. You know, PCs kind of have to be tuned for gaming.
Yes.
So that's one side of it. I don't think you could build an app. We've seen this with smart TVs. Smart TVs are really
Yes. Yes, we have.
the smart side of TVs. The smart side of TVs only works for about a year and a half.
Yep.
And then your hardware in your TV that's running your apps
Dies.
just isn't good. It doesn't work anymore.
Yep.
You get like 2 updates down the line, and it's like nope, no more Hulu for you from your smart TV.
And
Which is
then-
why I don't use my smart TV functions very much.
Oh yeah, no.
I have separate boxes for
we,
everything.
We have a Chromebox for ours. And,
Yeah, I have Apple TV.
And actually, the smart TV still will just. We bought a very nice, like, top of the line TV a couple of years ago, and it is basically now defunct. We will change inputs, and it just shuts off. Like, it's bad.
Somebody in the chat said linking via phone to dev a controller. The only issue I see with that is, again, some games with some input lag
Yeah.
could be a problem. The other thing is, the more complicated you make it
Yes.
for the average consumer, the less likely they're going to bite,
Yes, absolutely.
right? This is what Apple did so well under Jobs. And what Jobs understood was you have to make it
Idiot proof.
blindingly simple,
Yep.
right? It must be intuitive, like deeply intuitive as to how to make it work, or they will not do it.
The other side of that coin, though, is once they get into that kind of ecosystem,
Yes.
they are stuck in it.
Yep. Good enough internet in most of the country to push a cloud-only gaming. That is another issue that's actually been brought up a bunch of times.
Yes.
Actually, the U.S. for access to high-speed internet is
Yes.
one of the worst developed countries in the world.
Yes.
Um,
The only reason why we've had an initiative to push for affordable internet at any speeds, right, in this country is because of the lockdown, and you have to provide an income, you have to provide income information in order to qualify for it.
if they made a cloud gaming a thing like Roku, would you buy? Again, I think the issue is going to be hardware.
That's like Stadia.
Yes,
that was
that was
basically
what
what
Stadia
Stadia
was.
was.
And what you're doing is you're leaving a lot of the computing power on the back end, which what Google had that made Stadia work in the first place is they had the server farms that could handle all of it. So basically, all Stadia was doing was acting as an input transmitter between you and the computer somewhere else, right? That was actually playing the game.
Yes. I know that we had tried our Stadia, and we supposedly, I'm going to say supposedly or allegedly, had gig internet for this particular time that we tried it, and it just did not, it did not work.
It's not just
It's
about
not
the
enough.
internet speed, though. It's
No.
the ping rate,
Yes, exactly. And
right? It's how fast it's getting to the source.
Yes. And so unless they want to do server stacks in every part of the country in order to ameliorate that, it's just not going to work very well.
I have not tried Amazon's cloud gaming.
It's okay. It's
Same issue as Google.
Yeah.
It's a latency issue. It's even with the architecture. And again, I don't even think it's necessarily just a computing issue. It's I have to get a signal from here to here at a certain speed for it to work.
Or else it's just going to be unplayable garbage.
Right. And again, that doesn't require a lot of data.
No.
It requires speed of the ping. It's got to get there
And
fast.
it has to be unobstructed as well.
Yeah.
Which that's not necessarily something that we have.
Because of prioritization of
Yeah.
the system. I think Xbox is really leaning into Game Pass. I think they want the gaming as a service thingy.
It's not a bad way to do it.
Now one of the pieces of this article, so Xbox console sales are down, but the thing that I've seen is apparently in that same report, Game Pass subscriptions have basically plateaued.
Interesting.
So, aside from buying Blizzard Activision, what's the thing you think that Microsoft could do to get that to change?
Spotlight more indie creators. Start working on.
I mean, they do a pretty good job of that now.
Do it more. There are so many games that come out all of the time that just do not see the light of day on that side of the gaming industry. However, what they could do is either, and I'm not going to, please don't take this as a suggestion of them trying to merge with Steam, because that's not what I'm suggesting here, but if they partnered with Steam and made it so that you are able to access your Steam library with your Game Pass account as well, I think that that would probably help a little bit, because then it would just have that like connectivity across the board.
Somebody in the chat says they're not advertising Game Pass very well. I actually would agree with that.
Yeah, I actually also agree with that. I mean, those who know what Game Pass will absolutely tell you all the cool things about it. But if you are just walking up to it as just like a Joe Schmo, you're like, what the hell is this?
Especially at the
to
price
pay
point
a
that it is.
subscription for it? Like,
Yeah.
why would I do that? However, I will say at the price point, like, it's less expensive than PS Plus.
It is.
And you don't have, like, in terms of what is offered for the $15 a month, which I pay because I do the Xbox Gold Premium or whatever so that I can play with my brothers across the country, versus the PS Plus, which is $60, then you have to add on another subscription on top of that for the PS Now if you want to use their cloud service at all. And that's, I think, another $30.
I think that PlayStation is really messing up their online gaming piece of it that way. I really absolutely despise it. Absolutely despise how they do it. Some people are saying they just buy games they like, not games. And that is a totally fair thing. Again, for me, it was I can really try a lot of stuff. And again, if I don't like it, I didn't.
No skin off your back.
I didn't spend $60 on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
I mean, there were a couple of AAA games that I played that I was like, I'm really glad I didn't pay for this.
It saved me hundreds of dollars,
Yeah.
if not thousands.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. It is
for
absolutely
sure.
like helped me with the buyer's
By the way,
remorse.
Game Pass, can you just throw Far Cry 6 on there? I want to play Far Cry 6, but I don't want to pay for it. I'm sorry. I think
they had it on there.
No, it's Far Cry 5 is on there right now.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I saw the ending to 5 and it was awful. And there's just
There's no good ending to it because there's no good ending to that situation.
Just play it for the bugs.
Sure there is.
Play it for the Alienware. It's fun. There's actually a clip on Twitch somewhere of me and Pete launching a 4x4 with the vacuum gun that you get, and we fly through the air. It's pretty great.
I do want to try Far Cry 6, so do me a favor, Microsoft. Bring that out there. And Microsoft, if you want to talk to us, just look, you're right in Redmond. We're right here.
Come see us.
We'd be happy to have you come on in, and lovely Xbox folks, and we will tell you all the cool things we want to have out of Game Pass. Okay?
We'll focus test.
Yeah.
And Lord knows, I own 4 of your Xboxes for the store.
Yeah, and I mean, you have 2 users of Game Pass who have had it for nigh on 4 years now, and then you also have
Will
new
you throw
users
that topic
as well.
at the end for chat topics? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it about Xbox sales. They're down. Game Pass is flat. I think Xbox is in a holding pattern right now. I really think Microsoft and Blizzard are both like, will you guys just
figure it out?
Let us do our thing, please.
I don't think Nintendo would allow them to do so, George.
Yeah, I'd be.
You are the only one in YouTube. Yes, you are. I love that name.
We love you, YouTube. By the way, if you want to see more of this content, subscribe to us. Make sure you're liking all the stuff. We're trying to beat the algorithm. Okay. Next topic is CinemaCon. We're getting some interesting, just some bits and pieces out of CinemaCon. They had the Flash screening last night, and apparently it's really good.
I did watch the trailer
and
before
you watched
this.
the new trailer dropped yesterday, just before that screening. What did you think of the trailer?
Okay, it's pretty hype. I'm excited to see Superwoman on the screen. It'll be a very interesting experience, especially because they are following up behind Marvel on a multiverse idea. However, they're doing it in the DC style, which I am excited for, especially because it does include, quite a few Batmans, and all of their alternate universes, which I do feel like those were built very well conceptually, especially from what I remember from my childhood as well. So, and I also appreciate that at the end of this trailer, they actually showed which comics to read if you wanted to see the backstory behind what was going on.
It's very much based on Flashpoint. Chat saying they want to see Michael Keaton. The word is that Michael Keaton crushes it.
Yep.
The woman who plays Supergirl, who plays Kara Zor-El,
So pretty.
is apparently she steals a lot of scenes. She does really, really well. We know Batfleck is in this. I've heard rumors. CinemaCon, to answer the chat, is every year the North American Theater Owners, or NATO, they hold their big convention, and all of the studios come to this convention to convince the theater owners to give them screens.
And no, not that NATO. The other NATO.
The other NATO. They really need to change their name. So this is where they go to the theater owners and go, please give us 3,000 screens because we want to make money. And so what they do is they do each of the major studios does a huge presentation. There's also like breakout sessions and stuff like that for the industry there, but each of the studios does a big presentation. Warner Brothers was yesterday morning, and then they did a screening of The Flash last night that was pre-planned.
And it was a full screening of the movie, right?
It was a full screening of the movie. Most of the time they only show, they'll show bigger than trailers. So Sony, during their presentation, showed 20 minutes of Across the Spider-Verse.
Which is very exciting.
So, and apparently it's really, really good.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
I am super excited for Across the Spider-Verse. Warner Bros. Also showed a bunch from Barbie yesterday. And those of you who've been following us for a while know this is one of my most anticipated films of the year.
Yes.
Okay, I am super excited. You were checking out the pink Carhartt?
Yeah.
That Ryan Gosling was wearing?
There's a running meme now that Ryan Gosling wears all of the jackets very well, and you can't. He has a hot pink Carhartt on for CinemaCon, and they collected photos of him, from Driver and all of the other movies that he's in, and again, he slays hard. He actually does an interview talking about how Margot Robbie helped unlock his Kenergy.
Love that.
And I'm pretty excited to see how he knocks it out of the park in that movie as well.
I'm really excited for Simu Liu in that role as well.
Same.
Right.
Also, I am very happy to know that my prediction that Will Ferrell is going to be an outside source.
A Mattel executive.
Yes.
That apparently also came
Just
out
like the Lego
at
movie.
That. Yeah, I'm super excited for the Barbie movie. They've shown a bunch of stuff. They showed yesterday. Dune, they showed a big extended chunk of Dune. We found so Florence Pugh is going to be playing Princess Irulan. Christopher Walken is going to be the Padishah Emperor. Yes.
It's going to be very
Christopher
interesting.
Walken is going to be the Padishah Emperor. Oh my God. Austin Butler, who was in the Elvis movie, he is playing Fade Routha. And he described him as a psychotic crossed with Mick Jagger. And that was the reaction I got when I told her that earlier.
I'm here for it, honestly.
I think that Dune Part 2 is going to be an absolute romp. Like, that's going to be, oh my.
I still have to watch Dune Part 1.
I think Jason Momoa is great in that part.
Never
The nice
gonna
thing
say
is
no
you
to
can
that,
watch
man.
it on HBO Max and just pause it. Like you can take
Okay,
your time
fine.
on that one.
All right,
Like
cool.
I would not sit
In the theater for that?
Well, I will for Dune 2, and I do that. According to the Onion, Dune 2 picks up right where I just fell asleep in Part 1. That is true. And actually, so funny, Denis Villeneuve, when he was doing the presentation at Warner Bros. At CinemaCon yesterday, actually said, yes, the first movie is boring. It's all set up
For the second movie.
for the second movie. So even Denis Villeneuve was like, yeah, I know. It's slow. It starts slow. Yes, and we are doing another Mario Kart tournament for a person who highlighted their message.
On May 20th?
The books were actually pretty short. They were. I'm trying to remember what else I saw was coming out of CinemaCon. Disney did their presentation this morning. I haven't seen much about that, although apparently they put a clip of Melissa McCarthy singing "Poor Unfortunate Souls."
I am
As Ursula?
excited to see her knock it out of the park. It will be very interesting. Like, I feel like they are kind of just sidestepping any expectations for Little Mermaid at this point, and I'm here for it, especially with all of the changes that they're making. It will be interesting.
Yes. Florence Pugh though is Princess Irulan. That's gonna be
Very interesting.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to talk about that. Okay, so that was one of the things. Thank you, chat, for reminding me. So they did a preview, Sony's Kraven the Hunter movie, right?
What the hell is that?
Kraven the Hunter, who is a classic Spider-Man villain,
Okay.
right? And kind of in the vein of Venom, they're doing a bunch of villain stuff. Now, obviously, the Venom ones, they did really, really well because Tom Hardy is great.
Tom Hardy.
Morbius, not so much.
Well,
they didn't do a great job with. However, so Kraven the Hunter will be a hard R rated film. And it's supposed to show how Kraven becomes the villain, the classic Spider-Man villain. Apparently, one of the things that was pointed out that I saw in the coverage I saw was apparently there's a point where Kraven the Hunter bites someone's eye out and spits it at them.
edgy.
Like, apparently it's going to be like graphic.
Gory as hell.
So
Interesting.
here's the thing.
Chat
Morbius.
reacting to Morbius.
Discount eye surgery. Here's the thing. I actually think rated R comic book movies have a good track record.
Yeah.
Blade.
Yeah. Wasn't The Watchmen rated R as well?
Pete would have to check on that for me.
What?
Was
The
Watchmen
Watchmen?
rated R?
I actually enjoyed that
Deadpool.
movie.
There was nudity, so
Deadpool.
probably.
Yeah.
Um,
Still a comic book movie that was rated R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
comic movies that are rated R.
They
10?
I mean,
I think it
they
really
have-
frees the filmmakers up to do a lot.
it's a really there are some really adult concepts in comic books,
Mm-hmm.
right? That like if they're able to put that on screen, they're able to translate it a lot better, especially when it comes to magnitude of situations. So
Mhm.
I'm not like definitely not knocking it. It'll be very interesting to see where they go with it, and I am hoping that we just don't have a giant rash of people who are like, now I'm like Kraven the Hunter instead of Joker, kind of thing.
There also was a short trailer for the new Joker Folie à Deux movie released
Okay.
with Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga.
I do love those two.
I'd stick to kind of my
Are
feeling
you sticking
on-
to your lane?
I
Okay.
didn't like the first Joker movie for reasons. I recognize it as a well-made film-ish. It's pretty well made. It's Taxi Driver and Batman, so take that for what it's worth.
Very true.
It was just Taxi Driver in Batman.
Okay.
I saw the trailer for the new Joker movie. I'm not impressed.
That highlighted message,
There
though.
was a live stream sometime last year that had the Morbius movie playing for 17 hours straight. They waited for the movie over to be banned. The guy, nice. Taxi Driver, Batman. That's it. Again, it's why I didn't like the film. I'm not super. It's one of the ones I'm not super excited about. The new Wonka movie is apparently supposed to be
Very
really
excited
good.
for that.
It is a straight up like prequel style again, and they refer to it during the presentation as this is supposed to be young Gene Wilder version.
Yeah, which I hope they do it justice, especially because Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka was very good, and it was also very accurate to the books, which I don't know if you guys have read all of the Wonka books. There's 3 of them. They're bizarre. They're great. Check them out. They're older, so
yes.
it will definitely be like
There's some things that are going to be.
there are some things that are not great. But there are some wild books.
I wanted to address something somebody said. Because somebody was like Austin Butler. So in the Wonka movie, it's actually Timothy Chalamet.
Yes.
So actually, to the person who's like, is Austin Butler Hollywood's guy? No, right now it's Timothy Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet is, he's the guy. Yeah, I mean he's really really
Yes.
gone. Go ahead and allow that one through.
Timothy is
Yeah, so
basically Link in real life.
Yep. Actually, he would probably make a good Link.
He would. I
Um,
mean, yeah, because it's the same energy.
so yes,
Love it.
Timothy Chalamet is kind of the Hollywood guy right now. A lot of people compare him to Daniel Day-Lewis. I also, well, we'll talk about the trailer I saw right before we came on, and I got to do some more investigation on it, but it appears there may be a movie called Strange Way of Life that's Pedro Pascal and Ethan Hawke as gay cowboys.
Yes. I'm so excited for
more
this.
on that later. I'm not sure. I have to look more into this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Noro. I'm
so
so excited.
That might be happening. Okay, let's move on to chat topics. I'm actually
Hold
going to
on.
do. Wait,
We were going to do one more topic after CinemaCon because you were excited for this.
we're doing well, yeah, I guess we can talk. This will be hype session. So tomorrow's Cult of the Lamb stream, we're going to actually postpone. But Friday, I'm going to do Jedi Survivor for the Friday stream. I loved Jedi Fallen Order. I'm excited for this game.
I'm excited to see you play it.
I'm putting it on story mode.
No shade. Like, do it on story mode. Enjoy the game.
Yeah.
But, like, I am excited to see you play it, especially because you have particular ways of solving puzzles that vary from mine. And so it'll be very cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, check them out on Friday.
I'm curious how puzzly this one is.
Yes.
I don't know if they're going to make... I think, from what I hear, it's less puzzly than the first one.
I'm sure that was probably due to the feedback on the first one and how many puzzles there were, and also the lead-ins for those puzzles.
Some of the lead-ins for the puzzles were not great. The one thing I did like is in story mode, if it was obvious that you were struggling, the game would give you a really solid hint.
But it wasn't a hand-holding hint.
No, it wasn't a hand-holding hint, but it definitely got you there. I also did love his droid, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, his droid is one of the best. Okay, do we believe we're approaching the tipping point as to when superhero comic movies are starting to plateau? No. No.
Oh, sorry, I'm laughing at chat.
No.
I don't think it's going to plateau. I think that we may actually see a boom in creation from the comic book movies, especially as we're kind of finding our stride for both DC and Marvel. I cannot believe I said that just for DC, but
Poor DC.
I will admit that DC is kind of getting their shit together. In my humble opinion, of course. Don't come after me, internet.
There are a lot of film people who I follow who, and I agree with them, is this. What made Marvel,
Yeah.
was it wasn't that they were comic book movies.
No.
They were about people.
Yep.
Right? Captain America was about a guy who didn't like bullies and about a guy who was going to stand up for those that were being oppressed or bullied.
Even though he was the smallest guy.
Iron Man was about a guy who, if you go back to the first Iron Man, he starts out, they do a really good job. Favreau does a really good job.
Starts out with a douchebag with money,
and then
who ends up having a very rude awakening on how the world actually freaking works.
And that press conference scene, like that's
rough.
like really well done.
Yeah.
So the thing is that I don't think we're at a plateau for superhero and comic book movies. Well-made movies,
yes.
Good movies, 9 times out of 10 will make money.
Yes.
Right? If they're character-driven films. What we heard about the Flash movie is that it's a very character-driven film.
Yeah. Mashif, I'll accept that unpopular opinion. I understand, like, it does get a little tiring, especially when you're watching a movie that you know just has superheroes in it, that they're gonna win, you know, good always prevails or everything like in that vein. But I will say that there have been some creative ventures lately that show, like, we watched The Boys. That show is brutal, it is horrific, and it definitely shows, like, the human sides of things, and it does not paint those heroes in very good lights at all. It's rough. It really is. So if you're not wanting to see, like, love always prevails, good always prevails, like, check that out. they're coming out with stuff like that more and more frequently, and it's
So like,
seeing the CD underbelly.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's interesting.
this kind of goes with based on what Meshiff is saying, and then some of the and I'm going to relate it to a couple people said they wanted an Identico movie. Here's the thing. An Identico movie, in my opinion, if we wrote it the way that I think Sean and I would love to write it, would be exceedingly unpopular.
Well, it'd have to be rated R for
Well,
one.
and it's not just that. It's that when you put people don't like sad endings. They don't like bad endings.
Right.
They don't like bad endings. And the thing is that, and somebody brings up that Hollywood tends to repeat itself and dish out the same films. The problem
Yes.
is that at the end of the day, and again,
it makes money.
it makes money, right? And now there are a lot of super talented, really great independent filmmakers that do a lot of really experimental stuff. Those movies are not commercial successes because people don't go see them.
No, but they end up being cult favorites.
They do. For their section of the thing where they have their fans, they absolutely are successful. What I'm saying is that when you're MGM, when you're Amazon, or when you're Disney, Sony, and here's the thing, Disney, Sony, all these studios invest in independent filmmakers frequently.
Yes.
Right? They may not get huge releases, but those independent filmmakers don't make those movies without backing of major studios. Fox was known for it for years. Fox
Right.
Searchlight hunts out independents. A24 is a great example of
Yes.
that. Again, they will get the money, but most of the movies they make, don't jinx us. Most movies they make aren't going to be that. They're going to do mass market stuff. This is not new. Okay? When Everything Everywhere All at Once was first released in theaters, it made nothing.
Which is sad because it's so good.
Okay?
If you have not seen this movie, I beseech you.
Taylor's been raving about it for weeks now.
I still can't stop thinking about it, and
Hot
I've
dog
only
fingers.
seen it once.
Hot dog fingers.
Hot dog fingers.
Okay.
Yes, listen, it's so good. It is absolutely bizarre. Just let your mind disconnect from what you expect and just watch the damn movie.
Yes. All right. Other chat. By the way, if you want to throw some topics in, we got actually quite a bit of time left.
Everything,
20 minutes?
Everywhere, All at Once, Shane. It was made in 13 days with a very, very small budget, and it is absolutely beautiful.
It won the Best Picture at the Oscars too.
Yeah,
and
it swept the Oscars.
It was very successful this year.
Yes. We did have a chat topic that Shane brought up. Why do you all have PlayStation and Xbox? Are there enough games on only one or the other to justify it?
You start.
Okay, I'm going to be a little revealing here for myself at least, and this is my reason why. Doesn't need to be everybody's reason why. I have ADHD. I like having options. There are games that are available on only one or the other console that I want to have access to if I want to play the game. I don't want to have to try and find a way to play the game at midnight when I get the hankering for it, when I could just fire up one of the consoles that I already have sitting at home. With that said, I grew up in a primarily PlayStation household. And did not get my first Xbox until I was late into my teens. And so I have grown up with both, and I still lug around my PlayStation 2 and all of the games for it. And the only reason why I've kept current with these is because they continue to release games on both platforms that I very much enjoy and have been following for years. So, also, I was kind of gifted my PS4.
Okay.
So, it wasn't a choice in the matter. It was just I was gifted my PS4. So, what about you? I know you don't have many consoles. Why have you decided to get the ones that you have? Because I know you're hankering for a PS5, specifically for one game.
Yeah, and as soon as they release it, I will buy a PS5. So, PlayStation, I tend to buy PlayStation consoles, and chat's kind of said it for me. I buy PlayStation consoles for the exclusives that I have to play on PlayStation that I really, really want to play.
Like God of War.
For
us.
Yeah, I'm not a big God of War. That's not me.
They want to know which game. Which game is it that's going to make you buy a PS5?
Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
and Pete and I are actually working on a video talking about Final Fantasy. We're gonna do some deep dives on some Final Fantasy soon.
Are you gonna do lore?
No, not lore.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be more the game.
Okay.
So that's typically why I buy PlayStations, and also because most of the Xbox games that are out there I can get on PC. And I always have a PC because there's a lot of PC exclusives that I want to play.
Yep. Same.
Or stuff that I know is going to perform better on PC.
Absolutely.
Right.
Also, I love the indie games that are platformed on Steam that I can play on
PC.
the PC.
And so, like with my PS4, I bought the PS4 for Kingdom Hearts 3, right? Because I wanted to play Kingdom Hearts 3, and now there was also certain games that I ended up, even though they weren't exclusive to the PlayStation, because I already had the PlayStation, like Fallout 4, I bought on PS4 because I had the PS4, and so it was just a decision that I made there. So that typically, I have not owned an Xbox since 360.
I still have my Xbox 360.
I gave mine away.
We also still have the original Xbox One Forza edition, where the controller revs its engine whenever you do anything with it. And Kadri Media brings up a good point. It makes me wonder why the video game industry is not as open with cross-platform. And then I watched the Tetris movie and I understand.
Yes.
There's also something to be said about the current game corporations, right, not wanting to work together to make that possible. Sony for years has denied cross-platform gaming for a very long time, which is actually why I started moving over to Xbox, because I want to be able to play cross-platform with my friends on so many games, and I get to with Xbox. Sony is now trying to dabble in it, but it's not quite something that they're committed to from what I've seen. And correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't fired up my PlayStation for quite a while. I think the last time we did was for God of War, the second one that came out. We don't even keep our Sony subscription active because I just don't see the monetary value in that. So.
Kind of with you. Yeah. I'm with you. I ended up giving away my 360 to someone toward the tail end of that console generation. So that was the last time I purchased an Xbox. There are 2 Switches in my house. I have not had anything on Switch that would justify me buying a third. One of them belongs to
one for each person in the house.
Well, one of them is my wife's and one of them is my daughter's.
Yep.
Right. So I haven't seen anything that I'm like, I need to buy that third Switch because Nintendo's already got a bunch of my money. So
Animal Crossing was one of the only reasons why I actually toyed with the idea of getting a second Switch, and by the time I even toyed with that idea, it was during lockdown when all of the Switches were bought out.
Yes.
Which I don't blame everybody. I honestly just went and got a Wii. There's
a couple of games, to answer Shane's question, that do cross-platform between Xbox and PlayStation. There was a big deal when Sony finally opened one of those
Genshin.
up.
I think Genshin is cross-platform.
Does happen. It's extremely rare.
Might be talking out of my butt.
So, yeah, that's why we buy the consoles we buy. I still have a Wii U too. I think the Wii U was an underrated console. I think it was an exceedingly underrated console.
Genshin is cross-platform and it's free.
Yep. All right, chat. Do you have any more topics? Give us a couple more topics. If you have anything you'd like us to chat about today, because we are in the chat topics.
Unless you wail for a waifu, then that's on you.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we're just...
It's a short day for news, guys. So if you've got any stuff you want us to talk about, throw it in there. Ooh, I have one. Ever since the Wii, Nintendo has had a gimmick each generation that fits with building a collective experience. Yeah, that's true. Did you guys see the leaked Cars from Mathematics? I didn't. The video was taken down before, I have not bothered to go look at it. Have you?
No, I have been still kind of reeling from the decision to send Pinkertons to do what they did.
Apparently it wasn't the first time.
No, apparently it wasn't. So I mean, supporting a corporation that sends armed thugs to people's houses to intimidate and also take rightfully bought things from them is definitely something I struggle with very much. So I don't know if I will be getting Aftermath cards, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do we see? Oh, sorry, PS Vita 2. Anything new? I haven't seen anything official yet.
I do remember talking about the announcement for that, and I'm pretty sure that it's been kind of like dead air since then.
It's supposed to be game streaming from your PlayStation.
So kind of like the
Yeah, and I remember
Stadia cloud service.
Remote play.
Remote play?
Remote play from
kind
your
of like
PS5.
what you can do with the tablet and
Kind of what you
Xbox.
could do with the Wii U.
And the Wii U, yeah. I mean, I'm not mad about it. It's definitely something to keep an eye out for, especially because the leaked photos of the PS Vita 2 definitely look comfortable in a way. It's kind of like they took a tablet and then inset buttons and joysticks,
Yeah,
which is very interesting to me. But I'm also a very tactile person, so I just want to be like, I want to know how this feels.
I don't know how well Vita 2 is gonna do if you have to have a PS5 to make it function.
Yeah, if you have to have a PS5 to make the Vita 2 function,
I think it's gonna bomb.
That's dumb.
Um,
I would rather just get a Logitech cloud.
I know that the rumors is we're gonna get some. Is Pinkerton the same as it says on Urban Dictionary? I would have to look up Urban Dictionary. So that...
I am kind of afraid, but I will do this on a live stream just to see what that is.
Which means I want it
on
now.
Urban Dictionary.
The PSP was a god tier handheld. I agree with you, and I still have a PSP. I loved the PSP.
No, Kaju, that is not the same definition.
Okay.
I am not reading that out loud.
We will get a terms of service apparently, so we're not going to do that.
Kaji was asking earlier, just for a quick recap about the Pinkerton thing.
Okay, so
back history on the Pinkertons. They've existed since the Wild West. They used to go and get runaway slaves and return them to the people who basically claimed they did. There is a reason why they are the bad guys in Red Dead Redemption. But they also dealt with dangerous outlaws, as well as whatever else came their way in terms of needing the law. They have kind of rebranded a little bit and decided to be union strikebreakers, and do not have a fantastic track record in the way they handle things. I know that Alex has a different perspective as he has worked with some folks who are from the Pinkerton Agency in his days in the security industry.
yes.
So
the Pinkertons have a very, very,
they're shady.
very, very complicated history. They actually are banned by federal law from taking federal contracts. They're no longer allowed to be hired by the federal government. Within certain fields, Pinkertons are still considered a top-tier security agency. Within that industry,
Things make sense now.
the idea that Wizards sent Pinkertons is not surprising. Their director of global security is a former Pinkerton, which is, again, not surprising. The security business is extremely, what's the word I want to use?
Gray area?
No, it's not, it's nepotistic. Like, there's a lot of nepotism in it without it being actual family.
What?
There's a lot of people, like, bounce across between the agency and like, the clients. Clients frequently will hire from their security contractors for more stuff. Again, this is the word coming out now is this is not the first time Wizards has used Pinkerton to do similar stuff. Apparently, there was an uncut foil sheet that they tried to sell. Somebody tried to sell a couple years ago that got stolen from the printer.
Oh.
And they tried to do that. I didn't think it was an actual company. Yes, the Pinkertons have been around since the 1850s. They were founded in Illinois. And the first cases they took was train robberies. Right? So the train companies, when they would get robbed, would hire Pinkertons to hunt down the people who robbed the trains. Yes, they were the bad guys in Red Dead Redemption. They have appeared in a lot of media,
Yes.
especially back then. Again, they appear in a Sherlock Holmes story.
Yes. They're also the main character in Bioshock 2 was also a Pinkerton
Was
as well.
a Pinkerton. Yep, Booker was a Pinkerton.
Gives a lot of context to a lot of the things in that game.
So it's not the same. So they're not out there breaking people's knees anymore. That's just not the way of the business anymore. Are they spying on union like drive stuff? Yes. In the 1930s, the people who were starting the Amazon Union would have been disappeared into a concrete hole. Are we doing that anymore? No. Does it make them much better? No, not really. Yeah, Pinkertons were always the bad guys. If he paid me to stop robbing him, I'd stop robbing him. Butch Cassidy. That's pretty funny. I will not say anything on this topic. Again, you know, they did help with the Mongol Guard strike. They were involved in the battle of what's that mountain? When big railway strikes were happening.
They did get mad at Rockstar and sent a cease and desist because of using Pinkertons, which
Yep.
I think is hilarious.
Well, because the funny thing is that you have to be like they ended up still being able to use Pinkertons. You can't use the logo because it's still trademarked because it's still an active company. Which again, most people aren't even aware. How many people we heard say in the last couple of days, I didn't even know Pinkertons were still a thing.
Yes.
Like, that's still a thing?
Yes.
It's still a thing. They're owned by Securitas AB.
What?
I don't know what that one means, Grandpa Joe.
Bobbert got banned for that.
So it sounds like the
Oh,
Nintendo
yeah.
Ninjas for sure.
Oh yeah.
That's old lore. We don't need to
Okay.
go into that.
Um,
I didn't know Nintendo Ninjas existed.
that's
so
a new thing. Somebody tell me more about Nintendo Ninjas.
Please give me some insight, and also I hope your chronic ear infections get some peace from those, because those suck.
You want me to give the little?
Yeah, I want to hear the blurb on Nintendo Ninjas. What in the world is happening?
This is just me looking it up on Nintendo fandom. Nintendo Ninjas is the colloquialism for employees of Nintendo's legal department that work to protect Nintendo's intellectual property. So yeah, the Nintendo Pinkertons, basically. Like, yep.
Bro, I'm a Bioshock enthusiast. I didn't even know the main character was a part of Pinkerton.
Yeah.
So far, Nintendo. So Linda Codega did a really good article on this. If you really want to know a lot about it, go look at their article on IO9. Linda Codega was also the person who broke the OGL story. They are
Interesting.
They have really become a big name in the tabletop news industry right now. I also like the fact that they are being very ethical and very careful about how they handle this. They did reach out to Wizards and Pinkerton for comment. Neither company returned requests for comment.
Surprise! I do know that the general populace, especially, I was going through Reddit posts earlier today, as well as Twitter, all those good things. Basically, because of the card leaks, most people are not excited about Aftermath anyways. So it is interesting to me that Wizards, especially after all of the bad PR that they have been garnering this last year, decided to react in the way that they did.
Does not surprise me, even a little bit. You're surprised that they did it?
No, I like scumbag act like scumbag.
It's like if Disney sent Blackwater to bust my kneecaps because
Yeah,
they released Star Wars
exactly.
Mission 2 the weeks before release. You're not far off. The more I read about this and the more I hear about this particular card set, I think the reason Wizards freaked out is I don't think this set's very good.
No. I think that they were kind of counting on people to be in the dark long enough for them to buy the cards.
Yep.
And so now that everybody's like, oh, that's it, this set might flop.
I have a feeling that's what they're worried about.
5 cards a pack? Are you for real? Also, Tyrex. We'll get to that in a second.
That had stacks of Pokemon rainbows. Yeah, I'm not.
The guy with the Pokemon cards. I mean, if you're gonna be a criminal, be a smart criminal. Not that I'm condoning it, but if you're gonna steal from a printer and try to sell your cards, do it to different card shops in
Yep.
small batches. Are you stupid?
Yeah, Dr. Neuro, I also had a conversation with Linda on Twitter about pushing indie games at the store.
Yeah.
Linda and
Yeah,
I
I
had
saw
a little bit of a back and forth about that because they were pushing people to like look. There's a lot of really cool stuff out there, and I was like, yeah, and
Let's go.
you know, so we chatted about that one day.
5 cards
Again,
for a normal pack, 6 for a collector's pack. Yeah,
Is that
I
what's-
just.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I'm hoping the set flops hard. I have a feeling it's going to flop hard.
Yeah.
We will have it because we already ordered it and we can't back out.
Yeah, we already have our allocations.
Yeah.
They're asking if. Oh,
Speedrunning events.
ramen. Yeah, speedrunning events. Also, there's a question about selling zines.
So
So, a word I haven't seen in a little
Tyrex,
while.
yes, we've actually had talk about hosting speedrunning events. It's something I would like to do. I've really got to figure out how I'm going to organize that. Would we be down to sell zines? Sure.
Yeah. I mean, we
we've-
already sell something that is zine adjacent. I
Yep.
know that iHunt has quite a few, basically like DLC zines, where they flesh out the world in that manner, and it's pretty cool. I like the fact that it's bringing back zines as a term. Let me find that corgi game.
Just a couple more minutes left, folks. So if you don't forget, go to Gamers 7PNW. We have updated the event calendar. There's so much stuff going on. Corgi game.
Corgi game. Corgi's Cozy Hike.
I do want help hosting speedrunning events. Come talk to me when I'm in the
Yes.
store.
Yeah.
Because I don't know enough about hosting speedrunning to do it effectively.
Speedrunning is really cool. I kind of got into Twitch that way. Was watching a few people speedrun Dark Souls. No hit, no armor runs.
I'm not familiar with zines. Zines are something that came out of the 80s and 90s. They were short for magazines, and what they were is they were independently produced.
On the interwebs.
Well, those pre-interwebs.
Yeah, but then they got e-zines.
Yes, but so this is all pre-internet. Zines are, again, it was an edgy 80s and 90s thing for stuff that you would get at like a record store or like
Cassette tapes.
indie stuff like
it conjures cassette tapes for me.
they're independently produced magazines, independent counterculture magazines. Yep, they've been around for a long time.
Old school.
Somebody else, what do I think about season 3 Witcher suit? I do not care about the Witcher show.
Henry's gone.
Taylor, do you care? Be honest. Were you even aware it was coming soon?
I'm gonna say this, so nobody get mad at me. I tried watching the first season, and I got so disinterested halfway through that I started sleeping. So, and I know that it's supposed to be fantastic. I don't care. Enjoy it, please. Bring your passion for it here. Bring your joy and share it with us, and I will absolutely be happy to share with you, in those moments. But like, I have very little time to dedicate to watching things, and if I am so disinterested that I am going to sleep through it, then I'm not going to dedicate that time. I like naps, though.
Dr. Nur, if you want the real spice, Mallow and I will be doing Identico After Dark at 7 o'clock Pacific time tonight. So there will be some spice tonight because I can't even talk about this whole Disney thing on this podcast.
Hey, Pete,
it's got to be on the other one.
Can you switch around our usernames so they yell at Alex for my spicy take again?
Yeah. Shame on you.
Shame on you, Alex, for having an opinion on the internet.
The
Yeah.
entitlement there.
Again,
I liked the games. I think the entire lore behind it's really cool, but I also thought the games were kind of slow, so I make other people play them for me.
So-
like, it's just how it is. Like, I think it's cool.
I want to echo what Taylor says, is we're not trying to yuck your yum,
Yeah.
right? You can like whatever shows you like,
And I will absolutely share in your excitement with it, too.
and there is stuff that I'm sure that I enjoy that other people are like, I don't get it. And
Kingdom
again,
Hearts.
I'm not saying Witcher's show is bad. I'm
No.
saying I can't. It didn't grab me.
It came out in at the same time that like Mandalorian was coming out and Hot D was coming out and all of these movies were coming out, and I honestly just kind of got release fatigue, and I was also like trying to wrangle everything here. So I can give it a second chance, but at this point, like, is there a point to give it a second chance? And I also have other things to catch up on too that I like more.
We watched One Piece live action. I didn't even know that was a thing. That scares me.
I think that would be really cool. I want to see how they do Luffy's moves in live action, because that sounds terrifying.
I am Ahsoka. Somebody in YouTube chat's talking about Ahsoka. That's coming soon. I'm excited for that.
I am excited for Ahsoka too, and that's only because I have seen how well they have handled The Mandalorian. I am a little upset about the articles that I've seen about Boba Fett not even being like invited back for The Mandalorian. Like he literally released a statement saying that he had been sitting there waiting for his invitation to be part of when all of the Mandalorians got together, and he just never heard a word, which makes me sad.
Ramogami in the chat says they're feeling overall content fatigue.
Yes.
And I want you to know, I think Pete's nodding back there to that.
Have that
and
too.
I am,
yes.
like,
there is so much time in the day, and there is so much coming out, and just because I'm not enjoying something because it's not necessarily in my lane does not mean that it is bad.
somebody did like a thing where they're like, if you watched every Netflix original, like back to back to back to back to back, it would take you something like 700 years.
Yeah.
There is a bunch of stuff that you're just never going to get around to.
Yeah. Well, that, and like if I'm gonna be really honest, I have books that I want time to read, and I have like podcasts that I want time to listen to that like I don't even have time for those. I barely have enough time to make sure that I eat breakfast. Like
yeah, the content fatigue is legit. There is so much stuff out there.
Yeah. And then you have anime too, where they're, and don't get me wrong, I love anime, and I very much like, I am the person to come to if you want anime figures here for requests and stuff like that. And a lot of the times I am making my best educated guesses on what people will enjoy when we bring it into the store. But I will also say, I am kind of tired of watching animes that are just remakes of animes that I've previously enjoyed.
Another hot take.
Whoo, come at me, let's go.
By the way, anime, Crunchyroll, various other streaming services, I would really like a situation like my Xbox Cloud Gaming where I can try 2 episodes of every anime out there before I sit down and commit to 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's
like,
true. I also miss having just really good, solid 1-season animes.
Yes, I agree.
Like, you get
Cowboy
12
Bebop.
episodes.
Yeah.
26 episodes.
26 episodes is done.
Yeah, no, Cowboy Bebop, something like that, Evangelion. Yeah, give me one good, long, solid season. I mean, I don't want to limit myself, like somebody saying in the chat, with one original per service. I will watch anything that's good.
Yeah, and I want to be able to consume good content, right?
I'm watching Marvelous Mrs. Maisel right now because the final season just dropped.
How much time do you have, my guy?
I spread it out. This is, spending time with my wife. I love Mrs. Maisel. It's a great show, right? I am sure it is, especially to a lot of people in our demo here in this grouping in the game store, they'd be like, no.
Don't get it.
Don't get it. And I totally respect that, Yeah, but I love Mrs. Maisel. Also, they just finished filming season 3 of Only Murders in the Building.
Huh.
Which is another show that I really, really enjoy. It's on Hulu.
Oh.
I just got wrapped up into Carnival Row a while back and binged that, and now I'm good.
Daniel Scar just got into Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is one of the greatest animes ever made, in my opinion.
I actually had a group of people come in for the first time yesterday, and they saw the Cowboy Bebop poster and were so flippin' excited that we had it here because that is one of their favorite animes.
Yeah, for sure.
Good.
All right. That's the show today, folks.
welcome to the spicy takes. Sorry, in advance, I guess. We'll see how this gets cut out and how many comments and upsetness I cause with this.
Hey, you didn't start that. I got plenty of that. What was
Yeah.
the are you interested in, do you think there's this? No.
No.
Nope.
And just because we aren't interested does not mean, right, that we think it is bad or that we are not going to be excited with you when you bring your excitement to us.
Yep.
Like, I am
We
happy
love you all.
to feed into that excitement and enjoy things with you. But again, I only got so much time. And a lot
Facts.
of it is appreciating the time that I have with you. So,
You want more spicy takes? Go watch me tonight on the other show. Then it gets real spicy. My wife was messing with my backlighting 2 weeks ago, so it was like deep red fucking backlighting as I was yelling at the stream.
that's funny.
She was like, "I will backlight you in fucking rage red."
Yeah, that's good. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining us today. Have a wonderful day. Make sure to drink some water. Take care of yourselves.
Oh no.
Oh,
Thank you, Daniel. We
Daniel!
Thank you for the sub. We do our own song for the dance. Oh no. All right. Goodbye, everybody.